What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So people have asked me to break down this sequence of these punches land by undefeated lightweight, junior welterweight, Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia, who is 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'10", with a 70-inch arm reach, and he's heading into the biggest fight of his career, April 22nd, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, against undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Davis, who has 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 big wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'5", with a 67-inch arm reach. So as you can see here, Ryan Garcia, he knocked out Javier Fortuna in their fight. Okay, and people wanted me to break this down as to why and what I see. I broke this down on a live stream last night, and people have asked me to break it down again and make a video about it. Why I see what I see, why I think that Gervonta Davis is going to knock out Ryan Garcia, who is also a southpaw, just like Javier Fortuna. So I can point out some things to you guys, and I'll show you guys right now what took place. So right here, Ryan Garcia overextends with his left hand, overextends with his right hand, and overextends with his left hook. But look at his body language, how he's out of place. Now he overextends with the right hand, still tries to land the left hook, and gets caught with a right hook, okay? And now if you pay attention to the poses, okay, and you look at what, now he set up this knockout Javier Fortuna. These two punches here was to blind Javier Fortuna to land that left hook on the temple that he eventually knocked Javier Fortuna out with. Okay, that's what that was. But look closely to the first combinations. Let's look at the way he overextends his left hand too far out, and he overextends. Javier Fortuna sees it. He partially slips it, still gets caught with it because there's levels to this. He still gets caught with it. Okay. This is a punch that Gervonta Davis absolutely will not get caught with. Well, he will see this punch as Javier Fortuna slips it, but still gets caught with it because there's levels. Gervonta Davis will not allow that. Now here goes the right hand behind it. Javier Fortuna sees it, partially slips it, and still gets caught because, again, there's levels. Tank won't get caught with that. But as you can see, Ryan Garcia leaves himself wide open for a straight left hand right down the pipe. And that's why I feel like Gervonta Davis and the mistakes of Ryan Garcia and the experience of Ryan Garcia is going to show up big time in this fight. Okay, look how he leaves his feet with that. Now look at this sequence, right? Okay, let's look at this new sequence. He once again in this sequence, look how he overextends the right hand. He misses it. Javier Fortuna slips underneath it, and bang, the left uppercut will come in the same way Gervonta Davis knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. Look how Ryan Garcia just casually leaves his hands down in this sequence, shoots the right hand. Javier Fortuna slips it. The left uppercut is right there. Javier Fortuna is just not versed enough to make Ryan Garcia pay with the left uppercut right there. He's just not. Tank will make him pay with the left uppercut right there. Right there, Tank is going to make him pay with the left uppercut. The same way he made Leo Santa Cruz pay for it, he's going to make Ryan Garcia pay for that. This left uppercut is there all night. Javier Fortuna slips underneath, puts his head in his chest, and overwhelms his own self. Let's look at this sequence. Javier Fortuna is still able to land his right hook. Why? Because Ryan Garcia, even though he's out of place and out of position, he misses the right hand and still tries to land the left hook. Right? Missed the right hand, still tries to land the left hook, leaving himself wide open to get countered with a right hook. That's a right hand that I feel like Gervonta Davis will counter and knock out Ryan Garcia with. As you see, I told you guys he gets overconfident in his hand speed and his power, and he doesn't pay attention, doesn't give enough detail to his defense and the discipline. He shoots the right hand, misses, and right there, the right hook still lands. So that's two punches Gervonta Davis has available to him. The right here, the left uppercut, bang, like he did Leo Santa Cruz, and right here, the right hook, bang, right? So Gervonta Davis has all the tools in the toolbox to make Ryan Garcia pay in these types of sequences that Javier Fortuna in his southpaw stance just simply did not have, okay? So if anybody's wondering, it's not that I dislike Ryan Garcia or I'm hating on Ryan Garcia. It's just that I'm looking at it from a standpoint of inexperience. He needs more experience. Yes, he did get the knockout, but look at this sequence, okay? Now, this is the knockout Ryan Garcia got over Javier Fortuna. Now, he set this up beautiful. Left jab, right hand to the left jab and the right hand. The 1-2 is to blind Javier Fortuna, is to distract him to land the left hook on the temple. Bang, right there. Okay, beautiful sequence from Ryan Garcia. Watch it again, right? He blinds him with the jab, right hand, bang, then left hand on the left hook on the temple. These are punches that can definitely land on Gervonta Tank Davis from the southpaw stance, and Ryan Garcia being a taller fighter. But at the same time, Gervonta Tank Davis will be expecting that he's better defensively responsible than Javier Fortuna. But that's a great sequence on the part of Ryan Garcia. But look at this one. Everyone knows that Ryan Garcia was floored by Luke Campbell with a left hook, but everybody didn't pay too close attention to what actually took place. Look at Ryan Garcia's left arm as it's overextended, looks like it's going to snap. And with his right hand, because of the inexperience and because of being uncomfortable, he actually tries to grab Luke Campbell's shoulder, okay? Because he's inexperienced and uncomfortable. Because he's uncomfortable in the ring, he actually tries to grab Luke Campbell's shoulder, right? That's a lack of experience, okay? So these are the flaws that I see that Ryan Garcia has to absolutely clean up before he fights Gervonta Tank Davis next Saturday. And these are two of his last two biggest fights of his career. So we're going to need to see a drastic change from Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia against Javier Fortuna. These are two of his last three fights outside of the Emmanuel Tagle fight. Has he cleaned up all of these flaws in his game dealing with Gervonta Tank Davis, who will absolutely see it coming? Now, this is my film study on Ryan Garcia, not to say he can't win. But if he's going to beat this man, all of those flaws I just pointed out that Ryan Garcia presented inside the ring, that he practiced bad habits when he's training, Gervonta Tank Davis is very, very sharp. He has a very high ring IQ. Gervonta Tank Davis' ability to make adjustments and his ability to box gets overlooked because of his ability to one-punch knock out his opponents. Everybody's enamored with his power, but his ability to set you up with his feet and his mind is his biggest attribute. And that's what I think that's being overlooked when you look at Gervonta Tank Davis in this situation. So Ryan Garcia here, practicing and exhibiting bad habits, okay, in training. You see here as he's training, his legs are locked, okay, he's standing straight up, his chin is up in the air. Now, again, this works for Ryan Garcia, but ultimately, when it comes down to it, okay, Ryan Garcia has to clean these things up. It worked against Javier Fortuna, who's not as talented and as skilled as Gervonta Tank Davis. It worked against Luke Campbell, who floored him, but still is not as talented and skilled as Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Luke Campbell is 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach, so he's extremely tall with extremely long arm reach, and he's a southpaw as well. So that worked for Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell. It worked for Ryan Garcia against Emmanuel Tagle, but even in the Tagle fight, after Tagle felt his power was flawed and dropped, Emmanuel Tagle, he didn't want to feel Ryan Garcia's power anymore, and he opted to just move around the ring and survive. But yet Ryan Garcia, he had a difficult time cutting off the ring. These are all highlights that Gervonta Tank Davis ultimately is going to pay attention to. They are studying. Coach Calvin Ford, Coach Kenny, they are students of the game. They are paying very, very close attention to Ryan Garcia's flaws and his habits, okay? Ultimately, his habits, okay? And his bad habit is falling in love with his hand speed and his power and thinking that he can land it from any distance and have ill effect on his opponents. And that's simply not the case, okay? You saw in the film study, as I showed you guys, Javier Fortuna, he saw that three-punch combination coming. He slipped all three punches. He just wasn't getting his head off the line enough to not let the punch land completely. He saw the left jab. He partially slipped it. He saw the right hand. He partially slipped it. He saw the hook. He partially slipped that. But he's just not as versed to make Ryan Garcia pay for being out of position. Gervonta Tank Davis will make Ryan Garcia pay for being out of position, okay? You see these wide looping hooks that he's throwing here when he's hitting the mitts. He will practice. If you practice it, practice make perfect. And you practice bad habits, you'll make perfect of those bad habits. And in the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, I truly believe that Ryan Garcia may not have cleaned up all of these issues, and Gervonta Tank Davis is going to ultimately make him pay for not cleaning up these issues. Okay, you absolutely have to be as sharp and defensively savvy and slick and on your P's and Q's with Gervonta Tank Davis, because as we all know, he has the ultimate equalizer. He can one punch knock out anybody. Okay. And so Ryan Garcia, he has to ultimately be on his A game or he will pay. Okay. So I showed you guys when he overextended that right hand, the straight right hand, and Javier Fortuna slipped underneath it. That's the same punch Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. But that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram, Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. What y'all think about this film study? Drop comments in the comment section. Let me know if I'm spot on or am I missing something. Peace.
Garcia, You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.